Hey guys, this is Uber Roger, and I'm making a quick video, and this is going to be regarding Uber corporate people at stadiums, and I'm going to go into details about it. So, for example, at Dodger Stadium, right now they have an Uber lot where the drivers go up. You sit in a parking spot, and once you get a passenger, you tell them what parking spot you're in. Okay. Now, ever since I would say within the last week and a half, 2 weeks, they have Uber corporate people at the lot. Well, it might be a little bit longer actually, but within this time they have Uber people on the lot, and what they do is they walk around and they make sure that all the drivers that are on the lot are signed on to the Uber app. Now, the reason they do this is because they're trying to cut the surge so that the surge doesn't go up. Now, the surge, what typically would happen is that drivers would go up and park on the lot. When they saw the surge going up, they sign on and they take a ride. Now, the reason they did it is not because they wanted to rip off the customers, but the reason they do it is because I've talked to a lot of drivers, and the big thing about it is that you're not going to make sufficient money to make it worth your while because you're sitting at the stadium if you take a call without a surge. Now, without a surge, I'll give you a quick example. If you're working Uber Select, for example, if you're sitting there for half an hour, 40 minutes, and you take a call, which it could take 20 minutes to get a ride for Uber Select at a stadium. If you sit there 20 minutes and you get a ride, and let's say this ride is 2 miles, which happens a lot. Now, you get the ride, you take them to their destination, you didn't wait for the surge, right? So you pick up your first passenger you get, you're always signed on, you take them to their destination. Their destination is about 2 miles away, 3 miles away. Okay, by the time you get there, it's gonna be 20 minutes in traffic, typically after a stadium, after a game. What's gonna happen is you're gonna end up making about 3 miles, make it $11 after the Uber cut. If you try to go back to the stadium, you might get lucky and you might get another customer, but nothing guarantees that the ride is going to be more than that last customer, which is like $11. Now, in $11, you made $11 now times 2. Let's say you got those 2 rides. You have made $22 in an hour and a half. An hour and a half when you're driving an Uber Select car, making $22 is not enough. Now, what drivers do, they go on the lot and they stay there for half an hour, for 40 minutes, for 50 minutes, and then once it gets busy, they sign on. By that time, the surge is on. Now, they waited 50 minutes, so keep in mind. So yeah, they waited 50 minutes to get the surge. They were signed off, but finally the surge came on. They took a ride. Now that they took a ride, that $11 ride is now $30. So now it makes sense because now it took you 20 minutes to drop off the passenger. Now you worked an hour and 10 minutes and you made $30 plus. So does that make sense? Do you know why drivers do it? Uber's making it seem like drivers are just doing it to rip passengers off. No, the reason Ubers are doing it are because the rates are low and because the rate isn't sufficient to pay for the maintenance, to pay for the vehicle they're driving, to make it worth their while. Now, if Uber really cares about the passenger, maybe it would be more efficient for them to maybe raise the rate so that the drivers are always signed on, so that the wait time is less. Meaning that there's already 10 cars on the lot. Those 10 cars are available because they want to drive, because the rate is higher, which makes it worth their while. Now, it's very controversial with all the drivers at the stadiums. I don't like it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's not making me sufficient money to do that. It's hard. It's hit or miss. I mean, you could get a ride that's that's $11. Yeah, you could get a ride that's $40, $50, but a lot of the times it's going to be a 2-mile trip, a 1-mile trip, a 3-mile trip. And if you take it without surge, you're not making money. I mean, you're making money to get by, but you're not making enough money. So that's one big issue that's been giving me a headache. It's happened to me about 3 times at the Rose Bowl and at Dodger Stadium. I've talked to other drivers. Other drivers aren't trying to rip off passengers either. They're honest people. They're just trying to make enough money to make it worth their while. Now, Uber really cares about the passengers, and Uber really wants us to be signed on, and Uber's doing it for the passenger's sake or for us to be efficient. Then they should increase the rate a little bit to make sure that the drivers are always signed on. Now, we're not technically Uber employees. What we are is we're contractors, meaning that Uber sends us the leads. We should be able to sign on whenever we want to sign on. We shouldn't have to be asking them when we could take a break. They, by law, are not our employees. We don't have any benefits with Uber. So why is Uber telling us when we can't clock in and clock out, when we could clock in? So it just doesn't make sense that Uber's trying to make it seem now like they're the employees and they're trying to make us do what they want on command when they're technically not our employees. We're just contractors from them. So basically they send us leads, we do the job, they take their part, we take our part. That's it. But we'll see what happens. I might start looking around with Lyft to see what's going to happen. I mean, it's going to be the same in every company, but I'm just trying to prove a point that I've been doing this too long for Uber, and for them to make it seem like all of a sudden now they don't want us to make more money. They already made it bad enough because they decreased the rate twice. So now they're mad because the Uber drivers are resorting to the surge. So they're depending on the surge. So they're not signing on. So we'll see what happens. If you guys drive, let me know your guys' opinions about the situation. Let me know if you guys went through it. I know I could easily park outside the stadium and do the same thing I was doing in the past, and that's not the point. I know I could go around it, but I'm not trying to go around it. I'm trying to get to the point of why we shouldn't have to go around it, not just go around it. I could go around it and park outside the stadium and do the same thing I've always been doing, but what I'm trying to do is prove a point that I should be able to park in the Uber lot because I am there to work Uber. I am going to eventually pick up a passenger, but I don't want to sign on until the surge kicks in because it's not enough money at the lower rate. So similar things going on at LAX. I'm going to make another video about that. LAX is another story. It's another reason why I'm switching. I'm probably going to switch to another company. So we'll see what happens. If no change happens soon, more than likely I probably will be changing. So if you guys have any questions, post them in the comments. Like the videos, subscribe. I'm going to be posting more videos on it. Today is September 1st. So this video I'm going to make today and I'm going to post it right away. I'm getting the ride now, so I'll let you guys go. Thank you.